Sure. I'm Aravind. I'm 20 years old, if you believe. Okay, a bit older than that. Okay, so I'm from India. Quick introduction. Probably I'll give a more expanded version of it towards the end of the session. Um, but I work in the software industry. I've been in the software industry for maybe 22 years now. After completing my electronics graduation, electronics and communication engineering graduation. So I've been in this industry for almost 22 years now. Currently working as an engineering manager, managing a few guys, brilliant guys. Um, Learned a few leadership skills which I wanted to share with you people, hoping that it would definitely help you in your future. So I'll give you a bigger version of my journey towards the end of it if we have time. But I just thought I'll start off with some theory and then
Right.
pick your brain. Yeah.
So last time we met, Aravind, we were talking about being selfless. So I wanted, because what we were talking about, and Amrita was there for the meeting since she was our connection, and Amrita has been with us for the 2 meetings that we had, and which shows great leadership skills from Amrita. So in the last meeting, we noticed some cultural differences, and we were talking about this with being selfless and how the culture in India might be a little different from Norway, right? So if you remember, I asked you if you wanted to maybe share some of the ways and the mindset in the Indian culture when it comes to being selfless.
Sure, definitely. This is something that I wanted to talk in one of the slides. So I have some portion reserved for that. Maybe it'll go in that flow is what I feel. But then definitely to answer your question, yeah, cultural differences will always be there. And what I feel is I should take the positive things from others and should be a better human being than kind of saying that no, this is my culture, whatever good things or bad things are there, I'll keep it like that because I am from this culture. So I feel that each culture has its own positivity, and one thing I like about this Indian culture is about its selflessness, as Kiana was saying. So basically you don't have that expectation of there is a term called what is in it for me. So whenever you do something, you should never be asking that. What we believe in the Indian culture is there is something that is tracking what you are doing, and you get back what you do. We call that call as karma. Karma means action. In literal terms, it's action. So basically, whatever you are doing is what you get back. I'm not sure whether everyone is believing in God. Even if you're an atheist, you would have seen if you are doing something very bad, regardless of whether there is a God who's writing, oh yeah, he's doing this thing or not. You sometimes feel, at least in your mind, you feel that bad thing, bad emotions you might have if you are consciously doing something bad. You will feel that, oh, I should not have done that. That itself is something that is happening bad to you. So what I really like about this culture is that selflessness, as I said, because it elevates your mood. If you have experienced the joy of giving, you will understand that the moment you feel that joy of giving, the moment you see the happiness in the other person, the receiving person, that itself is a gift for you. That joy remains with you. When I compare maybe getting a present from someone or giving a present to, if it's a stranger, the joy is kind of boundless. If you see someone in the streets and then you just buy some food for him and he just smiles at you, that's the biggest gift you can feel, and that is something that we have seen in this culture. Probably I'll try to explain a bit more towards the end of the session, but I hope this would be a fair introduction.
Yes, absolutely. And as we talked about, I wanted, because I am, this is something that we focus on a lot in Growthsource Academy, in showing support and helping others. That's really our goal. And I believe that in the Norwegian culture, and like you said, it's good things and bad things with every culture. And I don't believe it's something anyone is mean or has a bad intention, but we have a tendency to say, well, what's in it for me, right? So as we also connect with people outside of the organization, it's important for us to come in with that mindset of we're here to support you and your dreams and your goal. And I think that we have something to learn there and something to gain knowledge of. So that's great. I want to let you start your presentation. I want to just mention that normally this educational call is set to 30 minutes. So we'll see how long this takes. But like I told Aravind in the meeting before, that he has so much to offer us. So if we go over, you know, it's up to you, Aravind, how long you want to stay with us today. We're just in appreciation.
Sure. Just check whether someone is sleeping. If you find someone is sleeping, then probably we'll
I'm sure that won't happen.
Let's see. Okay, Tira, walk safe. I know that you are listening to this, so be safe. I hope you'll get a recording of the session later. And yeah, this is one thing I wanted to ask. Are you okay to have this session recorded? Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, let's. So Tara says in the chat, she says thank you.
Sure.
Great.
Yeah, most welcome, Tara.
So we record every meeting that we have with the team, but I think it's good that we discuss if everyone is okay with the meeting being recorded in case you would like to share it or use it for something, right? Yeah. So maybe you want to explain what in that case you would use it for, and then people can give their opinion.
Sure. Yeah. So what I do is, in case there are sessions like this, I would like to take a recording of the session and then give it selfless again, give it to the world. Probably I'll upload it in YouTube and then let anyone listen to this thing. So the only concern I might have as an audience is if I'm sharing something that is very personal, if I share some knowledge and then you connect it with something that has happened in your life and you share it, I don't want you to feel that, oh, my personal things are being publicized. The world is seeing what is very personal to me. I don't want you to feel that. So in case you feel at any time that you have shared something that you don't want to be shared with anyone, we probably can stop the recording. And maybe, I don't know, we can edit it and then remove that part, or maybe discard the whole recording also. So I give you full control. Raise your hand, say that, hey, can you please record this, stop this recording, so that you can be as open as possible. Because I would believe that the more you are open, the more it'll help others also. Because all of us come with a lot of wisdom from our past experiences. I want you to be freely sharing those things in this group, at least. Even if there is no recording, it's perfectly fine. At least the 7 of us should be learning a lot from each other. That's what I feel.
So let me just add that I'm recording this in speaker view. So it means that only the person who's talking is showing in the recording. And it's easy to edit. So I believe we can record the whole meeting, and then everyone can go in and look after and let us know if they feel like there is some parts that they would like to be edited out. And then we can send you a recording later with what everyone is okay with being shared.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Yeah.
Right.
I just want to go through the team and see whether everyone is okay with that recording, right? After these explanations. I hope you're not feeling threatened or scared, right? Feel free to take part in this discussion. I don't want myself to be seen as a TV or a radio where information flows from one side to the other. I want a bridge. It should be like a bridge where information flows both sides. I am going to learn a lot from all of you. Okay, without
Right.
much ado, probably we'll start the presentation.
Great. I'm going to put myself on mute to make sure that you are on the screen at all times.
Sure. Thank you, Kiana. Okay, you might have to give me the share permissions.
That I will have to do.
Yeah.
Apologize for not.
That's okay. That's fine.
So
happens every time with me.
Can you share now?
Yes, I can share.
Great.
Okay.
I'll let you get started.
Okay, let me know once you are able to see this white screen with my name. Perfect. Okay. Leadership theory. So leadership is a process of social influence which maximizes the efforts of others towards achievement of some goals. Leadership is a process of social influence which maximizes the efforts of others towards the achievement of a goal, is what the explanation says. I'll just stop it here and then check with you if you're excited to go ahead with this leadership theory. Maybe a thumbs up.
I'm very excited.
Okay.
Right.
I expected a lot of thumbs down because I would hate to listen to any theory at the end of a day. So it's not going to be a leadership theory. It's going to be a story time. I'm not going to bore you with any theory. Okay. So are you excited now? Honestly, I know I'm not. I would have definitely given this thing. No, evening 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. Don't give me more theory. Don't torture me. Is what I would have said. Okay. Anyway, story time. Great. So when I say stories, the stories that I'm going to share with you are not the ones that I wrote. Definitely not something. I don't have that imaginations and all. But these are ones that has been passed on from generation to generation here in India. These are the ones I have heard from my parents. These are the ones I usually tell my kids when I put them to sleep. Now, you might be thinking, you are going to make us leaders listen to bedtime stories. How can these stories be useful to us? They are for kids, right? Yes. Would you agree? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Keep listening. Let's see how it unfolds. Now, the reason why I'm sharing these stories is because you don't need any more leadership theories. You're all leaders. You just enjoy these stories. Okay. Now, the first story that I am going to share with you is named The Farmer and the Goat. Okay, it's a very simple story. Even a 3-year or a 4-year kid will be able to understand the story. So the story somewhat goes like this. There was this farmer who bought a goat from the market, and he was walking home. As you can see in this image, he was carrying the goat on his back. Now, 3 robbers saw him. More importantly, the fat goat on his shoulders. They decided to steal the goat because robbers, their duty is to rob from others. So they devised a plan. So what they did is one of the robbers went and asked the farmer why he was carrying a dog. The farmer initially got angry and said, "It's not a dog, it's a goat." The robber just laughed and walked away. Now, after some time, the second robber met the farmer and asked the same question. Hey, why are you carrying a dog on your shoulder? This time, the farmer was a bit confused why a second person is asking the same question. But again, now he ignored it and then continued his journey. A little later, the third robber came and started laughing at the farmer for carrying a dog. By now, the farmer was convinced that it was a dog that he was carrying. He dropped the goat on the way and walked away, cursing the person who sold a dog to him. Now, the beauty of this and probably the upcoming stories is that it does not explicitly call out a moral or a lesson. Each of us would have something to take away, which is completely different. So that's what I said when I share the story. There will be different perspectives to the stories and different learnings that all of us can make from the story. A few things that I could relate to or I could learn from the story is from the farmer, understand the true value of your assets. In the corporate world, I have seen managers laying off. When I say layoff, I probably think that you might have understood what it means. It means job cutting. It's different terms in different countries. So basically, the company says, "I don't need you anymore. Tata, bye bye." So I have seen managers laying off stellar employees, high performing employees without understanding their value. I have seen business owners change their business model where they move away from their what is it called, the core value proposition, the core of that business, and then give undue importance to areas that do not help business just because someone had advised them like this. Now, the other thing that I have learned from it is don't let others change your valuation. Don't let others value your assets. This one is very tough. We keep evaluating what we have depending on how others value these assets. You don't have to go to a corporate level to understand this. Oh, she got so many likes for her photo in Facebook and I got just this much. So disgusting, right? Have you felt this? I have a friend who makes a living by just adding the likes for a client's post. So there will be this person who will give a money to this person and say, "Hey, I need 500 likes." There are businesses which are thriving like that. So it means that you don't have that self confidence on what you have. You you kind of ask others for evaluating yourself. So the third one is probably from the robbers. Anyone from sales or marketing? I heard one fashion designer. Um, uh, the other two, I'm not sure whether I caught that. Anyone from? Okay, Kiana is there. Okay, so you probably might have heard of something called a multi-touch point. So a multi-touch point is a concept where um, if you have a potential customer, he should not be contacted just once. He should be approached through multiple channels. Maybe it could be banners, it could be coupons, it could be cold calls, it could be in-person visits. It's very essential that you contact the prospect with more than one channel. More than once, you should be calling him or following up with what you have to offer. No sale is going to happen with just one cold call or one banner. You have to have constant follow-ups. That's one thing that I have seen from those robbers, where it's not one robber, it was a very scheduled way in which 3 times the same message was given to the prospective customer, and then he fell for it. So that's something that probably you can uh, take up in your maybe sales and marketing or in your real life also. Follow up, constant follow-ups. The other one is collaboration. um, it's again related to the above multi touch points. You need to collaborate between different teams. In a corporate world, it will be different teams for the success of your company. Many a times the biggest competition is not between two companies, it's between the team members of a same team, or maybe two teams in the same company itself. They will be fighting against each other. When you compare that with the fight that, or not the fight, the competition that this company is having with its competitor, it might not be that fierce. Team members might be aggressively trying to prove that his team member is wrong. If he had put that energy into making his company's product better, probably the company would have been more successful. So collaboration is very important for you to move as a team forward. The other one is persistence. Now, the biggest failures for most of the businesses is lack of persistence. How many of you dream of, say, starting a company of your own? Wonderful. Okay, so probably this might add value to you. A lot of founders drop the idea of their startup at the onset of the first big hurdle. The moment they see a pushback, someone saying, this is a bad idea, they drop it. Have persistence. If you truly believe in what you're doing, be persistent, believe in yourself, and then go ahead with that plan. I'm sure that lot of lot of successful entrepreneurs would tell you, if asked, the only reason or one of the major reasons they have been successful is because of their persistence and their self belief. Now let me pause here and hear from you how this session is going. Is this adding some value to you, or would you want me to talk about something else? A thumbs up or a thumbs down would help me understand. Okay, plus one vote. Anyone else? Okay, plus two, plus three, plus four. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I just want to say I absolutely am enjoying this a lot. This
Wow,
is,
great.
I feel like I got more than I bargained for. This is amazing.
Uh,
I look forward to the rest of this. Great.
Wow, great. So more bedtime stories coming to you. Don't sleep, please. Okay. The second story is called The Monkey and the Crocodile. It's more animated now. The first one was humans, but now we are going back in evolution. Monkey and the Crocodile. Okay, so the story goes something like this. There lived a monkey on a tree, and there was a crocodile in a nearby pond, a river kind of thing. Okay, they were friends. Assume that they were able to talk and they were friends. Now, the crocodile had a wife, again animated, who wanted to eat the monkey's heart. Now, Mr. Crocodile was dead against it. He could not even think of killing his friend. So, Mrs. Crocodile proclaimed that she will not eat anything at all and will die of hunger if her husband did not bring the monkey to her. Left with no choice, how many of you are husbands, married? No one. Okay, yeah. So probably Amrita might know how this plot is. Okay, left with no choice, Mr. Crocodile approached the monkey and invited him home. He did not say that I'm going to kill you. He just invited him home. Now, the monkey was very happy because he got this invite for a feast. He happily jumped on the top of the crocodile, and the crocodile started swimming towards his home. Now, as the crocodile was swimming, the crocodile could not hold on to his secret, and he told the monkey why he was carrying him home. He was saying that, okay, the moment we get home, we are going to kill you, and my wife wants to eat your heart. The monkey got really scared. He was in the middle of that pond. He could not swim, and even if he swam, the crocodile is definitely going to catch him. But without showing his fear, he told the crocodile, "Oh, you should have told this before. I usually keep my heart on the tree. Let's go back and get it." Now, the crocodile believed the monkey and swam back to the tree. Now, you can imagine what would have happened. The moment they reached the shore, the monkey jumped to the tree and escaped. What leadership lessons do you get from the story? Is there anything that comes to your mind? Maybe I'll kind of share something that came to my mind, and maybe we'll all unmute and then share what you have gained from the previous one and this one together. Okay, so from the monkey, what I feel is, keep calm. He was going to be killed, but he was cool. Keep calm. One of the biggest strengths that a leader should have is the ability to keep calm during a turmoil. Take your own example. Would you prefer to work for a leader who panics every time there is a problem, or someone who would stay calm and maybe consoles you, encourages you? That's okay. Problems will be there. Let's get over it together. which one would you prefer, one or two? The calm leader or the sorry, the panicky leader or the calm one? Two. Okay, perfect. Now, know your surroundings, or understand where your safe points are. You should all have a safe area, an area where you can't be attacked, an area where you feel safe to express your emotions, an area where you can get recharged. So you should always find one place where you can always go back. And there was one military guy who was saying something similar to it, where he said the the biggest impact, the habit which had the biggest impact was preparing his bed after he woke up. So once he is done with his bed, the worst thing that can happen is everything goes bad in his life, but then there is one bed that he can come back and sleep. That would be well done. So have a safe area where you will be really comfortable, and try to get that area where you can kind of vent out all your frustration and all, because in life definitely you will need such recharge points. Now the other one is beware of how much you trust others. The world is full of very, very nice people, but there are very few unfortunate souls who, probably due to their pressure, would take advantage of others. I don't believe that there is an evil human being. Everyone does something bad because there is some pressure, and if we are in his shoes, definitely we would have done the same thing. So due to pressure, probably there is something that people might be doing. Beware of what others are doing. I'm not saying you should not trust your friends, but always think about the risks that you might be facing. Now, this one is a funny one. Don't be scared to propose ideas. You never know which one will click. Probably Kiana might know, as a salesperson, she might try all sales pitches, and there is something that might click, and it's not the same thing that clicks for everyone. So uh, there has been many instances in business, even in your life, probably you would have escaped from a situation because you showed the courage to propose something, to say something, instead of getting frozen, right? There could be instances where others might be waiting for someone to raise a concern. Maybe everyone was facing the same problem, but everyone was just keeping quiet. There was one person who took the courage and said, no, this is not the right way of doing it. And then everyone was like, wow, thanks that you said that. Even I was feeling the same thing. Yeah. Not everyone is intelligent as they present themselves as. Maybe in our school times, maybe in India, we have classes 1, 2, 3, 4. When you look at class 6, you will feel, wow, class 6 guys. But then when you get to 6, yeah, you're not that great as you thought. So don't feel bad, or don't feel yourself to be inferior than others. Have that courage to propose what you believe in. Okay, now from the crocodile, um, this is very, very, very important. Be very careful what you share with others. Most of the rumors in a corporate world, in any office, come up because someone might have spilled the beans, not fully, but partly. Others would get a hint. Maybe this is what is going to happen. And that's where all the rumors will come out. And that is because this person did not keep his mouth shut. There are occasions where you should just shut up. Know the situation and then decide whether you should open your mouth or just keep it shut. You might know the answer, but there are some points where it's better that you don't speak anything. You might face a person who's arguing with something that is not relevant. Don't try to correct him. Just shut up, just move on. So understand where you should open your mouth, where you should keep it shut. Now, what according to you is your biggest asset? Is it money? Is it health? What do you think? Anyone? Maybe I hope you can unmute yourself, right? What would be the biggest asset as per you? Amrita, I see you muted. Yeah, Adam.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to think about, but I think health is like the biggest one for me, because without health, you wouldn't be able to do basically anything.
Perfect. Yeah, health. Okay, Amrita, you want to share something?
Me or someone else?
I
No, that was it.
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
think she's
would
supposed. Yeah,
also
go ahead.
go for health.
Health. Okay. Yeah. Kiana, anything from you?
I think for me, it's the ability to keep going.
Keep going. Okay. Persistence, consistency.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, Daniel, what do you think?
I would
Any
also
inputs you have?
say my past experiences will definitely be something, that you learn from your past and your experiences, and you can take that to the future and present for that sake.
Okay, yeah. So experiences, the learnings that you have. Perfect. Okay. Korean, do you have anything, or maybe we'll just go on?
Yeah, just go on. It's exactly like
Sure.
saying
Okay.
I've learned from past.
Okay. Sure. So what I wanted to bring here is health is definitely very important. I really like that no one came up with wealth, real estate, nothing of that sort. Health is definitely very, very important. And one other thing that is important is connections, your friendships, your your circle of friends where you are comfortable. Try to keep your connections alive. Definitely your health is very important, but then what we have seen is if there is a person who's very healthy but not connected to the external world, there is a mental pressure that he might be having. I just had this COVID. I was infected by this coronavirus maybe a couple of months ago, and um, everyone except my elder son got infected. So what happened is we had to keep him isolated in a room, and we were talking, and my parents were there, my wife was there, my younger son was there. So we were cracking jokes, and this poor soul was inside a room alone. He never had any connection with any of us. After 2 days he said, no, this is not going to go. I want to be with you. I don't care whether I get that coronavirus or not, but I can't stay isolated. So that's the power, that's the frustration you get after a few hours. Probably you, even if you are in full health, you feel that it's better to have that connection than thinking of the health. I mean, you might have different opinions of it, but then this is one recent example I have seen in my family where there was a healthy guy. He said, I'm going to risk my health for that connection. So okay, I thought I'll just share with you that recent example. Now, from the lady crocodile, anything? Amrita knows, so probably you can ask her of all the learnings that she might have heard from the lady crocodile. She said, "I'm not going to eat until you bring me this."
I think the lady crocodile was very adamant that she was so adamant that finally the husband had to do what she wanted. So I think that you shouldn't be too adamant. You should be flexible sometimes, not sometimes, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good. There is a lot of learning, so probably in the next sessions you can talk to Amrita and then get all those wisdom from her. So you know what it is. So Amrita is the source of all wisdom there. Okay, so now I don't know. It's say six. How much is it now? 6:35 there. Yeah,
Yes,
6:35.
6:30.
Okay, right. Do we have time for one more story, or should we just skip it? This
I
might take
believe
around
so.
say 5 minutes or 6 minutes.
I believe
Okay,
so.
sure. Okay, great. Now this story is called The Four Friends. Okay, I'll try to summarize it because we don't have enough time for it. There lived four friends: a deer, a mouse, a rat, a crow, and a tortoise. They used to meet every day. They were thick friends. They had daily conversations. They used to meet somewhere, and then they used to spend a lot of time with each other. One day, the deer was not seen. The tortoise was there. The mouse was there. The crow was there. They were waiting for the deer, but the deer never came. After some time, the crow said, "No, I'm going to search for him." She flew and then found this deer trapped in a net. So in olden days, how we do it is we have this the net which is made of threads, and you keep it somewhere and then cover it with some leaves or something, and whenever there is an animal which goes over it, it'll get entangled in that. So that's how people used to catch wild animals. Now this crow found this deer entangled in this net. Now the crow, without any time wastages, she flew back, got the other two friends to the deer, and then the mouse cut the net and then set the deer free. Now the hunter who had set this net came running. He was really furious. Hey, who's this person or who's this animal which freed my hunt? Now the crow flew away, the deer ran away, the mouse went into a hole nearby. But then the poor tortoise was left alone. It couldn't even walk fast. The hunter said, okay, fine. If not the deer, at least let me have this tortoise for my dinner. The hunter caught the tortoise and started walking back home. The other three friends got together and thought of a way to rescue their friends. They were really scared. Now, as the hunter was walking, he saw a dead deer near a pond. And a crow, as you would have seen dead animals, crows would come and then peck the dead animal's body. So there was another crow which was pecking its eyes. The hunter was really happy to see it. I mean, yeah, one deer he lost, but then now there is one deer that is presented in front of him without any effort. So he put the tortoise down and ran towards the deer. Now the crow cawed and then just flew away. Now the deer, now you would have imagined or understood that these are the same people who we met earlier. The crow was the same crow. It cawed and then flew away. The deer got the signal. He just started running. This time was enough for the tortoise to jump into the pond and escape. Now, the lessons that I could learn from this story is each of us have our own strengths. I might not have the superpowers you have. I might not have the ability to design design clothes as Korean has. That's not my cup of tea. But then I might have some skills that you probably might not have. All of us have something to offer. You might not be good at everything, but you are good at something. This is why we say teamwork matters. This heterogeneous team is a concept that has come up recently. Heterogeneous means it's not same. You are not getting teamed up with the same type of people. It's multiple people coming up with different skills. Now the world has gone beyond a point where one single person would be inventing something. Edison invented a lot of things. Isaac Newton probably might have come up with a lot of things. But if you see today's world, it's not an invention by one single person. It's a collection of multiple people. Maybe there could be a mathematician, there could be a physicist, there could be a chemist coming up, there could be a mechanical engineer, there could be a doctor, there could be a pharmacist. So these people come together and then put their heads together and then come up with something remarkable. Now, when multiple people with different skills come, the biggest problem would be coordination. People have egos. They'll say, no, my part is the biggest one. This is the most important one. And that's where a leader comes into picture. All of you are leaders and you are going to face these kind of situations. As a leader, you will have to have a vision for the team. What is it that we want to achieve as a team? You need to allocate, you need to understand the strengths of your team members and allocate resources that are best suited for the subtask you have. You might have a big task in hand. You divide it into multiple smaller chunks and say, you are good at, say, advertising. You go ahead and then try to get more people understand what this product is about. You are good at maybe coming up with formulas. You come up with a formula that really resonates with what we want to get. Now, check your friends once in a while. It's very important. We talked about the connections. So this is very related to that. Check on your friends once in a while. I'm very poor at this. I don't claim that I'm a very good coordinator or a person who reaches out to a lot of friends. I'm trying to improve upon that. But as I mentioned earlier, as we get older, it's the quality of the friend circle that really matters. It probably, sorry, it probably might not be the wealth that I have. I might have billions of dollars with me, but if I don't have a friend circle to enjoy, it's probably not worth this, what I personally feel. Okay, so how do you people feel now? I really hope that after you have listened to these stories, you don't ignore them as just bedtime stories. I hope you have gained some new perspectives and might have got some action plans for yourself. Maybe there is something that triggered you. Oh yeah, this is a very good point. Let me start working on it. Did something of that trigger came to you? Yes, no? Okay. Yeah, I see nodding heads. Yeah, good. Thank you. Thanks for that feedback. So now, I did introduce myself earlier, but I just wanted to ask the same question again. Who's this guy who has been talking for the last, say, 40 minutes? I'm not a storyteller. I don't belong there. I'm not a storyteller. I'm an electronics engineer with about 22 years of corporate experience in the software field. I've been a software test engineer, development guy, worked with a lot of Japanese companies, Indian companies, currently working with a US company. I work as an engineering manager in one of the MNCs, which is headquartered in California in US. I inspire, mentor, coach the engineers who report to me, who are much more wiser, much more intelligent, much more smarter than me. I don't consider myself to be anywhere near their smartness or intelligence. So uh, I became passionate about coaching. There is a term called coaching. I'll explain if you want what coaching is. Coaching is basically trying to partner with someone. It's not telling you what you need to do. It's more about, let me listen to your problems. Let me understand what you are facing. Let me understand where you're coming from. Let him or her say what the problems are. And you might have faced this. The more you talk about your problem, something will come to your mind which would be the perfect solution for you. The difference between a person called a mentor is, a mentor would give you ready-made solutions. A coach is someone who will try to understand what your problems are and then maybe ask you some questions which will trigger some new thoughts in you. Maybe these kind of stories, maybe something that we have not discussed might have come to you. Oh, this is something that I need to read in my life. So a coach is someone who does not tell you what to do, but then inspires you to think out of the box or understand what the root cause of the problems you are facing. So I became passionate about coaching and helping others to be the best version of themselves. You cannot be comparing yourself with others who are successful. You can only be the best that you can become. So I try to help them become their best versions. I got myself certified as a professional coach so that I can legally say that I'm a coach. I don't have a business around coaching, but I try to help people during my free time or during the weekends. Now, you have been a great audience. I've got a lot of feedback from you. I would kind of open up this. I would like you to kind of unmute yourself and then share with me what you have learned. Is there any value addition that this last 1 hour has given you? Kiana, you want to start?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, you really made me think, and it's funny how, I mean, at least that's how I feel when we were talking about our biggest assets, and you mentioned connections, which is what the Growthsource Academy is about, connections. And I absolutely agree, and I was like, wow, why didn't I say that, But yeah, that is very, very true in my opinion. And I will have to say, Aravind, the way you tell these stories in a way to make us understand leadership, it's amazing. It's at least for me, I'm a visual learner. So it was great I imagine these animals, you know, rescuing each other and helping each other. And as you were talking, I could see some of the morals, and also a lot of things that you mentioned that I didn't think of. Absolutely great, great presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kiana. Thank you, Kiana. I'm really privileged. And please share if there is anything that I might not have. This is just something that I felt that I could take out from the story. There could be multiple other morals or stories or learnings that you might have got. If you want to share something, definitely please go ahead. Please enlighten me.
For me, it was definitely a great presentation from your side. I was smiling the whole presentation because it was fun hearing about these stories, and at the same time, you're thinking how many value you can take from these simple and straightforward stories. That was really like amazing. I just have one question. Since you had like 22 years of corporate experience, I'm wondering, like, did you have some time where you were like facing some difficulties and you had to use some of these leadership skills to move forward in your career?
Definitely, every day. I'll be facing challenges on a daily basis. There will be team members who might say, I am not going to work on what you're asking me to do. There could be challenges where my team members might have done something wrong, but then I'll have to shield them. So that's another challenge. There is a balance. I mean, I'll have to give a feedback to them, but then my immediate response would be, no. This is not a problem that my team member has made. There are other I'm not finger pointing at others. Basically, I'm trying to shield my team. So that is one leadership thing. There are challenges in that also. There are conflicts that I have seen in team members where ego comes into play, where there is one person who thinks that he is superior or what he is doing is superior than what others are doing. So I'll have to kind of take a balance or keep them balanced so that no one gets demotivated. Everyone stays motivated. It's tough. It's not very easy. It's tough. I might have failed multiple times, but then a lot of challenges I would have faced. Is there any specific challenge that you want me to talk about that could help you?
No, not really. I was just wondering, like in general, if you just
Oh, yeah.
had like some ideas, but the things you talked about are already like some challenges that you've been through.
Oh, right. Sure.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. Good to hear it helped. Yeah. Okay. Daniel, Amrita, Korean.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Daniel, you can
Okay.
speak. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Okay. Daniel, go ahead.
And I definitely agree with what Kiana touched upon, you know, the visual aspect of the presentation. I think since everybody has different ways of absorbing information, learning, I think it's definitely a very fun and interactive way of doing so, because typically you have, you know, just some PowerPoints with text, but here you actually have, you know, a story and actual pictures. And I think it fits very well with what you were talking about as well, you know. And definitely that's something, you know, we can learn from and use ourselves, maybe in our own presentations, for instance, either at Growthsource Academy or in the future, for instance. But also the points you touch upon, I think that's a good like reminder of many things, like for instance on like just as simple as like checking up on your friends. I think that's definitely, especially during these times with COVID now, I think that's definitely something many people just kind of forget about just because they're in their own rhythm. But then I think it's important to have that you know, way of reaching out to people. So yeah, thank you a lot for everything.
You're most welcome, Daniel. Okay, Amrita, you want to share something?
Yeah, it was really a great presentation. Yeah, I have heard these stories, but you know, now I have, you know, now you could see the story from a different perspective. So I think it was really great. But I have a question regarding the first story. There you mentioned about multi-touch points. So my question was, if we if we if we contact them like again and again, will they really do they feel okay, this person is contacting us again and again, so can we just we don't want them to, like we don't want that guy to be to be contacted. So you sometimes get that feeling. So what do we do at that time?
Okay, maybe Kiana would be the best person to answer this question. But what I feel is it's not just cold calling. When you said, oh, this person is calling me again and again, it's not that. It's mainly um, you have to be present wherever your potential clients are looking. So think about why you selected GSA itself. You might have got this information about GSA from multiple points. You did not join just because one person called and said that there is a leadership forum here. You probably might have maybe searched in the internet, and then the Facebook page or the Instagram page came up. That is one touch point. You are giving options for the user to see you. It could be a big banner while you drive somewhere. You keep a big banner somewhere. That's one touch point. Calling is just one of them. So you don't necessarily have to um, uh, kind of call him or then poke his privacy and then say, can you please join? Not like that. That is one point. But then you need to present yourself in multiple forms or in multiple areas where the other person sees. Wherever he sees, oh, I am seeing this person. Think about your favorite food or favorite advertisement. They make sure that they keep themselves presented everywhere, in audio, in video, in banners. So that's one thing. I'm not a sales guy, so probably Kiana would be the best person. I'll keep my mouth shut. I need to know when I should stop, right?
No, I think that was, and thank you so much for mentioning that, Amrita, because that's a really good point that I also noticed. And I believe you're absolutely right, Aravind, and I believe Tera would say the same, who is also studying marketing. Like you said, and when you talked about it, I was thinking about Growthsource Academy and how we post things on different channels, right? Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. So those are all different touch points. And then, like you said, we can call people, email people, mouth to mouth too, right? That's also a touch point. If a friend of yours is talking about this, then that's a touch point. So really good notice, Amrita, and yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Aravind. It doesn't have to be one thing, but it's for people to notice us if it's yeah, anything we're doing.
Thank you, Kiana.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me there. Okay, Korean, anything from your end that you want to share?
Oh, it
Positive,
was
negative, both.
Oh, it was great. I love those stories. It's like,
Oh,
there's okay, that one. The cutest
okay. Good to hear that you loved it. Okay. So Tera, are you in a place where you can share your thoughts, or maybe you can just send me a mail also, in which case I'll tell you how you can contact me. So definitely yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Tera,
Yeah,
please go
I
ahead.
don't know if you can hear me or not. I just
Yes,
realized I had headphones
you are
on
audible.
and now
Yeah, you
I
are
took
audible.
them out. But no, I thought it was really great. It was a bit difficult for me to get the beginning since I was still at work. But I definitely agree with both Amrita and Kiana said about the marketing part. Yeah, that it's different touch points. And I think it's a good, I mean, yeah, I kind of just agree with what they're saying. Yeah, I didn't really think about it that way. So I think it was a really, really, yeah, I have to go back and listen to the first 15 minutes so I can get more of the beginning. But I think the rest was really, really interesting. And I love the stories as well. I think about always, contacting your friends and making sure to check up on people. I've realized over the years is definitely something I need to get better at myself.
Wow, great. Okay, so since all of you have shared the feedback that the stories are very interesting, probably Amrita, maybe you can share where I got these sources. It's basically a collection of, I don't know, maybe say 50, 60 stories. It's called Panchatantra. Maybe you can just share with them. I don't want to type it and then create a confusion there. So maybe Amrita, you take it forward.
Yeah, it's a book called Panchatantra. It's like the Indian stories. You have these Indian moral stories in that book. But if anyone is interested, I can just ping you the name, and it's there on Amazon and everywhere. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Amrita. Okay, so before I say adieu, you've been a great audience, and I really appreciate and thank you for giving me this opportunity. As Tiana and I was talking maybe last week, I was really impressed with the selflessness with which the Growthsource Academy was founded. Marianne should have had this vision of molding a lot of leaders, and selflessness probably should have been the base of this organization. I'm sure that with the amount of energy that I see in Kiana driving this, and a few videos of Marianne I have seen in YouTube, they have this vision of, I need to have a lot of leaders. It's not I need to make a lot of money from this business. It's more of what I am giving others. That's selflessness, as I would take it. This again, I probably would connect to our culture itself, the Indian culture. I'm sure that all the in cultures in this world would have this, but I would like to share what I have seen in the Indian culture. So whenever there is a major calamity, we see people coming up in groups and then helping each other. I have been in accidents where I don't know who helped me. There were people who just took me to the hospital. I might have lost my bag. They would find me and then give it back to me. I'm not saying that this is specific to Indian culture or this is unique to Indian culture, but this is selflessness. I know of people who have sacrificed a lot of their assets, time, money, opportunities for the welfare of others, for helping others. When we get an opportunity to help others, we normally say, the person who has received the help normally says thank you. But what we have seen in our culture is, the person who has given the help, offered the help, say thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to help you. I think this is how leaders should start thinking. What can I do so that I can be of benefit for others? How can I improve the situation? How can I remove the pain points that others are facing? So I would encourage all of you to imbibe this selflessness into your character. I'm sure all of you have this thing, but then take importance of this. Don't think about what am I going to gain from this. Don't think about that term, what is in it for me. Keep it aside. As we believe there is karma, you do selflessly, and there is one very, very famous quote in one of our sacred books: do your duty, don't think about the result, just do what you're supposed to do, and then the results, if at all any, will come to you. It all depends on how much of your energy you're spending into doing what you're supposed to do. Now, talking about selflessness, I have a small gift to all of you, because you've been a great audience to me. I really enjoyed talking to you, learning from all of you. I'll offer you a free 45-minute coaching session with me. As I told earlier, I do some kind of weekend coaching. So I can offer you a free 45-minute coaching session with me. You don't have any obligation to continue with any follow-up sessions, but if you feel that you've got some value from that coaching session, I can introduce you to a few programs that I run to a very selected number of clients. I have not started this as a business, but this is something that is in the works. Whenever I can try helping someone, I do that. And I've come up with some material, some infrastructure with which we run the programs. There was this person who I remember, who came to me once literally crying, saying that I want to change this job. I had no idea about what her job was. I did not have any idea what her expertise is, nothing. But we had a couple of sessions and we discussed her situation, and we discussed about the opportunities that she was not seeing in this current organization. We soon understood her problem. I mean, she realized her problem. The root cause was not the job. It was it was not going to be removed if she changed the jobs. It was basically a feeling of, say, worthlessness. Hey, what am I doing in this job? I'm losing on a lot of things. That was the root cause. She spent almost 5 years thinking about taking a certification. She never was able to take those steps towards that certification, and because of that, it was a vicious circle, as we call it. One thought takes the form of another, and then that triggers another thought, everything negative, and finally you end up in a big hole where you feel I am worthless. But then what happened is, after a couple of sessions, she understood, oh, these are the possibilities, and then there was some kind of push that we had to make. Now I'm really happy that in a matter of 5 months she has already taken 2 certifications. She's going to write the third one maybe October end. I did not do anything. I just partnered her. I just listened to her, and most of the time she herself came up with solutions. Oh, now just because you listened to me, I was able to think clearly. I just partnered with her to get her thoughts clear. It is not a motivational talk that I did, but it's a genuine attempt to get the other person's thoughts clear. Once you start having the clarity of your thoughts, the answers that you're looking for will just emerge by itself. So I'm really grateful to each of you for listening to me. Grateful to my sweet sister Amrita. In case you don't know, Amrita is my sister. She's the one who connected me with Kiana and made the session possible. And last and definitely not the least, to Kiana, who spent so much of her valuable time speaking with me, coordinating all of these things, and giving me an opportunity to speak with all you leaders. It was a wonderful platform. I mean, it's definitely a wonderful platform for budding leaders. So connect with me by, maybe you can scan this code. I think this is one easy way for you to get to that LinkedIn page of mine, or you could search for Aravind Valormana. Maybe Amrita can share it. Amrita is already my connection, so it shouldn't be very difficult for you to find me. So that's all I have right now, but I would like you to take away, if nothing else, but that selflessness. Don't think about what I get from this. Let others enjoy. Let others gain a lot from you. That's the best thing that you can give the world, and definitely you will get a lot more back from others.
I could not agree more, Aravind. Thank you again so much for doing this, for taking your time to meet with us and share all your knowledge and your experiences with us. This has been really great. And I look forward to going through all your YouTube videos. Now I know you have a lot. So I will send out an email to introduce everyone to Mr. Aravind, and I believe there you can let him know if you would like to take him up on his offer on the free 45-minute coaching session. And you can also share your information, so you can follow him on LinkedIn. And I will also include a link to his YouTube channel, which is really awesome.
Oh, thank you, Kiana. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I wish you a great rest of your day. And I hope we get to speak again soon.
Definitely, I look forward. With a great audience like this, I'm sure that I'll be really excited to come back. Thank you for that offer, Kiana. And it was really nice discussing with you. So feel free to send me a note. Yeah, Kiana would be sharing my mail ID. In case you felt something good about the session, please let me know. If you feel that something can be improved, let me know. Please be open as much as possible. And once again, I'm asking, is it okay to take this video and then share it? If you have any disagreements, let Kiana know. We will not do that. I'll not share it with the world. But if you're okay with it, if you feel that, yes, this is going to help others, please do that. Please let me know. I can upload it.
Great. I will discuss with the team and we'll send to you some draft or some recording. Hopefully the whole thing. We'll see.
Okay.
Everyone will share their opinion.
Sure, definitely.
Great.
Yeah, I hope I went by 9 minutes, 10 minutes over time. I'm sorry for that. I
Don't be
thought of
sorry.
finishing. Yeah.
We really appreciate it. So thank you
you,
again
Tina.
so much. And like I said, hope to see you again soon.
Sure.
Enjoy your
My
day.
privilege.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, Amrita. Thank you, Korean. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Tera.
Thank you so much for your time.
Sure.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and thank you, Adam. Yeah. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.
Enjoy your rest of the day. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.